Like, the last few mission parts are the most exciting because it's easily the most annoying mission group in the game. Like, there's plenty of them that are fun, but there's also plenty of them that are really annoying. This one was pretty fun though. I don't like how there were 2D sections in it though. I think snowboarding works a lot better as a gameplay mechanic in 3D. It's kind of sad that it took until this point in the game for me to finally find out how I was supposed to do tricks on a snowboard. How was I supposed to know they arbitrarily changed the controls on me? And like, if you choose to have the controller input thing turned on in hints, then the A button prompt shows up way before the ramp does. And I know that's good for reaction times, but the A button prompt distracts me. I really like SBO though. I like playing as SBO. I like how, I like the way he looks, kind of. I mean, he's supposed to be a chameleon, but he doesn't really look anything like one. I like how he's a calm and dignified ninja. He's often made the butt of jokes because he's the only Saiyan man to Vector and Charming. So that's kind of like relatable and sympathetic to him. Problem is, he's also kind of trying too hard to be edgy character in like Sonic Heroes, where he says, "Evil must die, beware my ninja powers." Yeah, I'm dead serious. That is an actual line that SBO said. Like, ninja powers. Like, maybe it's because I'm not a little boy, but I really can't take ninjas seriously as something that's cool. I mean, in real life, ninjas were murderous assassins. So I guess it does make sense that he says evil must die, except wouldn't he be evil though? Like, I completely agree with that sentiment when it comes to like Eggman and stuff, but still, like, I don't know why. I mean, he doesn't look as edgy as Shadow, but his design isn't nearly as cool as him. But he's still clearly edgier than him in the way that he talks. I don't know, like, they just have the same ultra serious, harsh way of dealing with things. It's just that Shadow's the one with the tragic backstory. I'm assuming that SBO's father raised him to be a ninja. We never really hear anything about his parents. He's just another Sonic character, he's an orphan. That's the closest. I hate this mission. Why do you have to suddenly start sliding under pendulums, which you never had to do before? And you can't ever get hit because there's no... I mean, wait, never mind, there are rings. But it's weird because I just ran into rings here, but they're not doing anything. That's the annoying thing about the endless boosts, is that you can't actually get rings, but rings show up anyways just to taunt you. Now this would have been an awesome skill if it weren't for the fact that it forces you to not have any rings. Like, do you not realize that you can't always be boosting in this game? There's electrical hazards everywhere, there's spikes everywhere. And like, the spike things that you're trying to dodge here, they drop down so quickly. And I don't know why there are 2D sections either. It's just annoying. Yeah, like I almost equipped this to the booster and booster skill set. I really wish I wasn't forced to name such a stupid name. But then I read the description and I found out, oh, I can't get rings, making the entire level tense and not all fun. Okay. Like, did I not realize that the levels constantly interrupt you with slow 2D platforming sections? Like, you can't have rings during those either. Like, I'd be fine if that was a skill that you could unequip, but you can't. So yeah, I skipped past the doppelganger mission because it's really nothing that you haven't seen before. I'm not sure why I thought it was a good idea to show off most of the doppelganger missions in their entirety, other than like they give me an excuse to talk about trivia, but all of the other missions do that too. And well, I think the later ones, like Seaside Hill, was definitely worth showing off because of how tense the race was, and especially Rooftop. Well, I skipped past Rooftop Run. The annoying thing about classic Rooftop runs doppelganger mission is that the AI is, well, it makes you really tense when you're trying to get into the clock face in Spin Dash, because if you mess up, then you're going to be really thankful that the AI, its position resets when you die, because otherwise you'd be screwed. Two players Green Forest in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle has basically the whole stage still there, with most of the enemies still there. The original goal ring's still there as well. You don't even need to cheat to see that the objects for the missile section in Metal Harbor are still there in 2-player mode, but the missile doesn't launch there. Using cheats you can find the music track for the snowboarding area, but you can't find the goal ring there. The rest of the leftovers are minor, but still there. The goal ring isn't at the true end of Final Rush. The one that's technically still in its 2-player level. The next leftover is in Pool Quest, which is basically Aquatic Mine. You need to use the free move code to move outside the map, which you can only do with Sonic for some reason. They deleted Aquatic Mine's geometry for Pool Quest, but the pools are still there. They're just without any objects. In Planet Quest, which is basically a mad space but one planetoid, there's a floating penguin impossible to get in the middle of nowhere. And at the top of Meteor Herd, you can glide to a phoenix which will then appear in the Child World even though you collected it in multiplayer. This is even in the Dreamcast version. Wild Canyon's leftovers are also in all versions of the game. You need to fly out of bounds, and there you'll find an assortment of objects from rooms normally found via digging. The objects aren't usually in this spot though. Usually there's rooms that are further away and spread out. Wild Canyon 2-player has the objects in beta locations. You can also find them in SE2, the preview. The digging walls are outdated using the wrong objects. This is a pretty annoying mission. Charmy will fly ahead of you, creating water spout beehives that annoy you. It's better to just let him go ahead of you, like pretty far ahead of you, which is weird because I'm used to thinking of rivals as like people I should race, but you're not supposed to race him. Like in general, this is a slow platforming mission. Most of the missions are 2D now that I think of it. Like of course this one's 2D because it's Classic Sonic and they don't have like Classic Sonic properly programmed for 3D. But yeah, in general this mission is kind of annoying. Something weird about Sonic 2 that I hadn't mentioned in my commentary of it is that apparently when they introduced the boosts in that game, when they introduced the spin dash in that game, people kind of felt like it was the boost. Like they had the same reaction to it that people do about the boost now. They were like, oh, this is destroying my momentum-based gameplay. You can just launch forwards at super speed right away. And it's weird that they had that reaction because the spin dash, especially in the classic games, is so lame compared to the boost. I mean, like, you spin dash forwards, and okay, you launch forwards with a bit of speed for a tiny bit, but then you immediately slow down. The only way that the spin dash is any way useful in the classic games is if you spin dash on top of a slope or right before a loop. And even then you have to rev up a lot to get through a loop in the first place because you slow down so easily. Meanwhile, in Generations 3DS, the spin dash is so fantastic. You launch forward so fast and so far. Now, if the spin dash was like that in Sonic 2, then I can understand it being compared to the boost because it essentially is. I mean, it still does slow down. It's not like the boost that always keeps going as long as you keep getting rings, but still. It was kind of controversial. It's kind of weird to think that though, because nowadays Sonic 1 is considered outdated and weird because it doesn't have the spin dash. There are some cheap enemies in this mission. It's yet another slow and platforming mission. Something weird about Sonic 1 is that it didn't have a 15,000 point extra life. Like in other classic Sonic games, you would get an extra life if you made it to the end of the level with having earned 15,000 points. Which I guess was a good way to actually reward you for getting the score. Because most of the time, people don't really care about score anymore. Even back then, I'm sure they didn't. The thing is though, you're not really going to be focusing on earning score, even in the classic Sonic games. Like, I'm sure, like, you defeat enemies so that they stop being in your way. For the most part, you're just focusing on trying to keep going fast and avoid having your momentum get broken. I don't know why it took me so long to get to left there. I guess I thought there was a wall there. It's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying how that horizontal spring can send you into spikes if you don't hit it at the right time. I guess the level design of that mission was kind of confusing. I think I was standing there for so long because of the fact that it was restoring everything to life. But because of the way the hub world is colored, it's impossible to really see any difference. Or maybe I was just standing there for no reason, I don't know. The mission that I just decided not to do, well, let's just say it crashed my computer a whole bunch. You're gonna see it later. This is much more infamous though. I don't know where he suddenly got the magical power to send music notes at you that you can actually physically interact with the homing attack. Now this mission can be fun in a tense, nerve-wracking sort of way that heavily rewards skill. It's surprisingly lenient as well because you don't need to even be facing Vector in order to knock this thing back into him. You can literally be chasing down the musical note, not even facing Vector at all, like this, and it'll still magically go back to him. And rays of light actually appear on the floor, warning you where exactly the musical note is headed. Although I didn't actually figure that out until I lost the mission. It would have been really useful to know, considering that it would have warned me ahead of time that the musical note was headed for like a really high part of the level like this. Like it gets faster the more you knock it back into him, so the mission gets more and more tense each time. It's better to stay far away from him, but I think the rules, like I think the faster it goes, the more risky it is to be close to him. Because the worst thing about this mission, though, aside from the very unsettling lack of music, like I didn't even put any unlockable music here. This is the default music. I guess it's good for keeping you focused, and believe me, you will need to be focused. See? It just throws a curveball at you at the very end and sends it completely the wrong direction. I'm lucky that I didn't panic and lose there. Thankfully, I only died to it once. So it was both just as bad and not as bad as people say it is. It makes sense that Vector would be associated with this because he's all about music. Like, he always has headphones on, and like Team Chaotic's one-hit kill Team Blast move is all about playing in a rock band, so that makes sense. This is the best mission in the game. When I said that the Elemental Shields mission with Classic Sonic was the best, I guess I was talking more about the Classic Sonic missions. This is exactly how the 2D platforming should have been in the first place for the entire game. I mean, look at this. This perfectly takes advantage of modern Sonic's unique platforming abilities. You're using the wall jump and the stomp and like all sorts of abilities. It's not just boring basic platforming where you're just jumping, that's it. You're actually like using unique abilities like the stomp. I felt so satisfied for the most part playing this mission. I felt like such a badass, like correctly stomping out to moving platforms and stuff like that. And I like how there's alternate routes, like you fall into a lower route but you can just late speed dash and it's fine. I also love how it takes place outside in the beautiful outside area of Planet Wisp. And look at this, like it's dawn. And like Misty, this looks really nice. And you boost in midair and do a lightspeed dash in midair. This looks so cool. Why can't the entirety of the 2D platforming be like this? I mean, I don't entirely appreciate how there's electrical hazards like between wall jumping tiles, like right here, and you feel like you can only be on the wall jumping tiles for a certain amount of time, so it feels cheap how you have to wait for the electricity to stop being a problem. But other than that, see, this is the problem I have with 2D platforming being shoved down your throat constantly in Generations. Not only does it miss the point of boosting, because you can't be having thrills while you're doing that, but I understand it's a platformer, it needs that platforming, but this is the kind of platforming that you should have, because it takes advantage of modern Sonic's unique abilities that separates them from classic Sonic. But instead, the game mostly just has you jumping from platform to platform. It's not nearly as good.